Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, and Minky. It's funny because it kind of sometimes it looks like I just have this thing attached to me. And she licks my face and everything. But I am always holding her butt, and she's nestled against my generous bosom. So she's getting plenty of love, even if I'm not stroking her. I'm still an involved pet owner. I just wanted to make that clear, because sometimes Minky just shows up and it's like, it looks like I don't even notice her. And I kind of don't. You know, when we first got her, I'll tell you a funny story. When we first got her, well, this is a weird cat. I mean, Sammy and I had just lost Velcro, and we can't go more than about 24 hours without a replacement. So we went to the thing, and in a glass cage there was this buff cat with no tail. And she was kind of weird looking. She kind of looks like one of our we have prairie dog community right outside our door. She looks like a prairie dog, kind of very stout, and I don't know, just solid. Anyway, I said, hey, how about that cat? Because we'd seen a couple, and so we went in, we sat down on the bench, and this cat leaped on me, started licking me, and then she leaped onto Sam. It's like, well, I guess we figured that one out. So we boxed her up, and she came home. There's the stories behind that, but anyway, she finally made it home. And she's a licker, and I just think that's awesome. So I would let her. I don't know if it's dirty or not. I don't know. It seems all right to me. It's just, something that they do. So anyway, she would, at nighttime, when she was first with us, she was like on my face, and she would lick my nose and lick it and lick. And I've never encountered a licking cat, so I just let her, and every once in a while I'd bat her away and she'd come right back. So then one day, after an intense night of that nonsense, we'd just gotten her. I went to work, and I was like, I never look at myself before I go to work, just throw on scrubs and go. And I'm at work, and it's like, my nose feels weird, so I went to the bathroom. There's like this huge scab. Oops. So yeah, that's one of the ways she communicates. Whatever. So, this has been an interesting and very good time for me. It's a culmination of about a year of getting to a place where I realize I get to choose my own walk now. In a way, I really felt like I was in a neutral position as far as what medium I was going to use, what palette I was going to use for my walk. I really felt like I had a time of neutrality energetically, and I would say that would be around 2012, around there, when I realized that all bets were off. I could behave and expect and believe anything I wanted. There was no one inside my head. I was not going to be punished if I thought certain thoughts that were perhaps not held by the group. And I started with my family. And that was sort of my testing ground. Is it okay to behave this way? Is it okay to react differently than I have historically reacted? Is it okay to speak my mind where once I held my tongue? And to hold my tongue where once I spoke my mind? And will it be okay to present as I am, which is happy? Because I just was very shut down around my family. I didn't feel it was safe to be happy. So that was a big thing for me, to come out as happy. Don't ask me why. It's fucked up, okay? Just roll with it. Whatever. Don't you have weirdnesses? I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do. And I'll bet if you say them out loud, you'd laugh out loud too, because you'd realize how ding-dang ridiculous they are. We all do it. I mean, just language of a prejudice or, a racist thing. Just language it. It's so ridiculous. So ignorant. It's just like, what? And you take that serious? But then you get in the land of the racists and it's like, wow, that shit's really taken seriously. It's much more meaningful to them than me. It's about distribution of melatonin in the skin to me. And wonderful, awesome, biologic stories. But I mean, wow, to take it as an opportunity to place upon another your demons. Well, alrighty then, aren't you a precious one? We have a special room just for you. Come, many are gathering. It's ridiculous. 606. But what I'm finding is that I had a period of time when I was just kind of neutral energetically. I had spent 12 years kind of celibate and just sort of not social, and just really sort of as guarded a little seed as you could be under a lot of dirt. Lots, very, very rich loam, but lots of it that I just didn't attend to or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was awesome. It was awesome. And there I was going, I can be, think, do more? Holy shit. What am I going to do with this? So then I'd have these visions of like, what would make me happy? What would light me up from the inside? It was like the festival crowd and twinkle lights and la 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 music and yoga and whatever. Just relaxed people. And whatever, the counterculture, the art culture, the conservative among us would call it the drug culture. Oh, well, yeah, it'd be a really great community, except they do so many psychedelics. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Well then, good you know. Bye. We'll be seeing you around. If you want to trip, yeah, of course you can trip. But I think that that's possible to do if you, like, work as a court clerk. It's got nothing to do with the culture. It's got everything to do with the culture, nothing to do with it. It's not what it's about. So, thank you for playing. So I discovered all these other avenues of expression through a phenomenal friend who I find impossible to read and impossible to get to know, but who I love dearly. And who I orbit like a satellite, as she does me. Who invited me into her worlds, and I, from there, made my own friends and established my own connections and began to explore. And it was about in October that last year that I realized the energy had changed. That people were not responding to me the same way they did for a brief slice of time. And I knew when I was on that time that it was golden time. It was something that was beyond the beyond. It was golden. I was to use it and enjoy it and drink it in, and I did. But I knew that it was something that could not be maintained. Relationships for me are very, very draining. Well, they're very complex. And I was managing many of them very, very happily and cooperatively and consensually. And introduced to so many new people and circles. And then, last fall, it just started to feel different. And that cushion that has always followed me around. I swear to God, I can be in a small room with a whole bunch of people, and naturally people will just give me an energetic birth. They just kind of naturally, I can be, if I'm alone and just sort of doing my thing, it's like the chair next to me, there's always a chair next to me that's empty. I don't know. I've talked to friends about it because they're like magnets to people. People just go boom, and they just can't get enough of them. And me, it's just different. And I've puzzled it and puzzled it and puzzled it until my puzzler was sore. And I've asked friends, and I've asked them, what the fuck? But it's just the way it is. I don't know. I figure one day the switch will be flipped and people will just go, oh my God, I cannot do anything but run to you so I can drink from the font of your beauty. But that hasn't happened quite yet. But I think what they're picking up on, truly, honest to Christ, are thoughts that are broadcast so loudly. And if I'm feeling good about myself and the situation, I have to beat people off with a stick, so to speak. Don't take that. I just really, and there are the time, and it's been lately just where it's been, no, I think not. So that's what I realized this morning. That it's now time. I was in this neutral time, which, I mean, the way that I listened to Hurly Burly today, because I thought it was a really crappy thing, and I didn't think it was very good, and then I listened to it and went, wow, oh, well, I think this can finally apply, because I never really understood it before. But the reflectivity, I think, is that crazy making of, you can say I am you and you are me. That's fine. That's good. It's true. I mean, energetically and genetically and all that stuff, sure, solically. But this is the land of individuation, separation, individuation, free will, and expression of preference. There's Minky again. It too is, so yes, it's the land to find out where your preferences lie and then pursue these, yes. Why? Well, because these make you happy, correct? We would hope that that is a metric that you use in your reality construction. Yes, of course, the whole, there are many of the Western faiths which train individuals to self-negate and to be suspicious of urges of will. Well, this was a socio-political event in consciousness. Believe it or not, and believe the tenet or not, okay? It's up to you. This is the thing. If someone comes at you and says, hey, this we're going to be talking about this. Hey, you, I know something you don't. You need to know this now. And it's said in a way that makes it very plain that a thorough assessment of knowledge base was not done. Because upon reply, upon response, the train keeps going. Hey, listen here, you dumbass. I'm so smart, I'm gonna mansplain to you now. Yes. Yes, and this was the lesson. This was the lesson. What do you do when confronted with such a thing? It's funny. There was lots of laughter. And there was lots of impertinence, for which the one before you felt so guilty. But there was no other appropriate response. It was funny, because what was demonstrated was complete passion, overwhelming, blinding passion, to and far, a set of beliefs which, of course, are absolutely voluntary and individual. And the one holding the beliefs clearly stating again and again, without this particular understanding, people are not very smart. And on and on. A very nice reminder about the beautiful energetic gifts of softness, gentleness, assumption, of the other as equal, in the role of equal, are questions asked. And how are these questions formed, worded? This is a subtlety. Some may not experience it except in very, very big cases, you know? So, anyhow, this is what we had to say, among other things. So, we discussed this reflectivity, which is not I am you and you are me. No. The reflectivity, the whole of mirrors, it is the land where each own the other's pain. That's what the whole of mirrors is. Exiting from that, realizing it's not true. Well then, what is true? Relief is true. Release is true. Expression, freedom, exertion of will is true. Self is true. The land of hurly-burly, of trying new things, expressing as new in this moment, in that moment, seeking out the new, the different, answering the call again and again. Perhaps this is correct for me now. It feels good, I'll go. Again and again and again. Have you also been making these forays? Testing other realities, testing other consciousnesses. We would go so far as to say it is testing other morphogenic fields. Yes. Excuse us. So, as we go along, we talked about a hillside, did we not? Well, it's quiet on the hillside, you know. It's funny though, the senses are heightened, and so focusing on something to the right, the hurly-burly, that curious queer hall of mirrors, a whole land. By simply looking, observing and focusing, you can feel it all again, as if it's happening in the now. But, feel where your ass is sitting. It's on grass. It's green here. Look around you. Friends. Peace. No worries. Funny. Look at that. The contrast was so quick. It used to take years, then months, then days, then hours, dear ones. So, green grass, hillside, friends. Another metaphor for re-evaluation, but not under duress, at your own pace, in peace, in harmony, through your heart, through that green heart chakra. Because the heart, we are telling you, we have told you, the heart is awake in a new way. There have been enough changes, and we notice a change in the delivery now. There's a different energy here. But this change is one that has kick-started the bigger brain, of course, which is the heart. The heart is the bigger brain. And it has, of course, been so big. It is happy to allow another, which is perhaps not as skilled, but very confident, to take over for a while. Sure, go ahead. Think yourself magnificent, please. Go ahead. Do what comes naturally, dear intellect. We have time. And then changes occurred. And it is true, we are being visited by a vast amount of energies for which you have no name right now. This is to continue, of course. And can you not see? A failure to apply basic law is an invitation to sadness, because can you not see that the truth of it is, remember, dear ones, once expanded, you stay expanded. Certainly there is a time of contraction. Of course, of course, of course. Have you not seen the beautiful cymatics, where patterns change and become more complex? Slow that down and you will see a time of chaos. Within the chaos there are patterns. The way home is known, it is magnetic, it is genetic. The way home is known by all, by all, by all. And it is in your chest, dear ones, in your chest. It's a magnificent heart. And on this planet there have been enough changes where the heart is beginning to integrate and make its presence known, altering thinking, because beliefs are altered when the heart is engaged with the brain. And imagine the symphony which can occur when someone has the pineal lined up with the golden ray. What a beautiful sight. 8 chakras running smooth. Beautiful, beautiful figure 8s, which, of course, lead to the 12. You can call it 12-strand DNA, 12-layer DNA, or there are many, many ways to describe it. It is hard to describe that which you have not seen, is it not? It's hard to truly believe something as a sensate body, as a human being, without having experienced it. Sure, reading is the second best thing. Oh, sure, you can see, you can read. And on the Google, yes, you can peek far into things. Certainly, certainly. What we say? Balance, dear ones, balance. Let us not forget, with all the expansion, you are physical. Capable of holding this and so much more. Each and every one. It starts with the heart. And this is what has been called automatic, you know. Sure. Yes, you fire up that heart with intention, with willingness. Everything starts like walking through a door and finding with each step new wonders, simply for having walked through the door. And this door, we say, is opening for all mankind, all humankind, due to DNA changes, due to magnetic changes. We hesitate to call them magnetic. We do. There are more grids at work than just the magnetics, and many of them are geometric. We are giving many visuals right now, and so there are many ways to describe reality, to view it, to appreciate it. But we would just say that what appears to be chaos, well, there are patterns within the chaos. What appears to be chaos is chaos simply because you don't recognize the patterns within. And it is the most profound experience, of course, to stand before the void, before chaos itself. Within a heart beating, loving beyond measure, all. It never stops. It only magnifies. It only gets more and more beautiful and profound. So, Hall of Mirrors, Hurly Burly Land, a green hillside, and what lies beyond. Well, certainly, once one understands they are unequal, with a unique signature, a unique raison d'être, a unique piece, the right to be here and to feel any way you choose, to do anything you choose within your story, which we would suggest couple steps back, you realize it's changeable. As you wish, as you wish. But to come to terms with your creation is beautiful, and part of creation, a piece of the puzzle. This is a part of moving on, knowing one is of service, simply by being, no matter the expression, no matter the puzzles and koans at hand, no matter the clay feet. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. We close by talking about soul groups and soul families, okay? We talk about this at the beginning. How is it? Is it so strange to think that a whole bunch of souls came in and did some things, and then came back and did more things, and then came back and did more things, and then helped things along, and just sort of come in and help out, and have certain specialties? Is it so odd? It takes more than one person to move a mountain, you know. Soul groups, soul families. When you recognize them, you know, you treat them well. And understand that, well, they are as they need to be. You feel it. This is what we've been trying to explain to her in social settings so that she can understand the gradations. She has been resisting because she thinks it is somehow setting up boundaries or separating, and it's not so much that. It's understanding the energetic there is compatible with anyone, of course. There's always something to talk about as human beings, obviously. And you know, you pick out a couple of things that are obviously similarities or shared whatever, and it's funny how oftentimes what blooms are the differences and the similarities. And oh, isn't that fun? Sure, that's fun. Learning about each other and what you present to one another. Well, this is your gift to the other and to self. There are times when there are no gifts to give. It is a time of neutrality, of receiving as well, of waiting peacefully, quietly, of knowing, divine timing, or we like impeccable timing ourselves. Fond are we of the word impeccability. It's a standard, a goal, an ideal. So, beyond this quiet time is a time of deciding what you're going to pack in that little suitcase of yours. How big the suitcase would be. Is it a knapsack on a pole on your shoulder, or is it on wheels, attached to others on wheels? It's up to you. So, take your time and use the litmus test of yes and no. It's funny. yeses can turn into no's. No's can turn into yeses. It's funny. And we end by talking about focus. That's what it boils down to. What do you focus upon? Simply in your narration? Oh, you don't have a narrator? You don't have a narration? Or we ask you to think again. Give a listen. You'd be surprised. Of course there's a narrator. Sometimes narrators just hurl insults and swear words. Some narrators, all they can present are the creepy, shadowy parts. Some narrators really only like to look at the sunshine. And some narrators, well, they like it all. And they attend too much. You might want to take a look at that way of looking at your, yama inside. Each habit is what meditation is supposed to cure. It doesn't cure it. It merely tames it and instructs it as you are instructed by it. Oh, that's so beautiful and poetic. We end there. Namaste.